Well, thank you very much, Hong Se. And I want to say what an enormous honor it is to be here today with all of you. Thank you for coming here to be with us and giving us an opportunity to share some of the really exciting work that's going on at Stanford Medicine and really exciting work through CARE, the Center for Asian Health, Research, and Education. You know, these past 3 years, in many sense, seem like a blur, right? I mean, when we think about what each of us individually has been through as a result of the pandemic and what collectively our societies have been through. But by far, what I've missed the most these past 3 years is the opportunity to convene and to be with you, to talk with you individually. Zoom is great. We heard the founder and CEO of Zoom, Eric Yuan, yesterday talk about the platform. I can't imagine what we would have been like without Zoom. But we all know that that's not a substitute. Virtual is not a substitute for being in person, for developing the relationships that can only be developed in person, and for sharing the excitement that we have about our collective future. And if there was any doubt before COVID-19 that this is the century of biomedicine and life sciences, I think that doubt was removed because of the virus. I mean, think about it. For the past 3 years, the world as we know it has been dramatically changed by a tiny virus consisting of about 30,000 bases surrounded by a protein envelope. And it's entirely changed the course of human history. And what it's also revealed is that there's so many gaps in our knowledge and our understanding. But even in the presence of those gaps and those opportunities for future work, we've also seen some shining examples of what we can accomplish when we come together. The development of a new class of vaccines and the deployment of those vaccines. The coming together of nations and of groups within nations to learn more about the pandemic and its effects on individuals and to come up with better treatments and preventions. And that gives me hope for the future. But also what we've seen as a result of the pandemic is the disparities that exist in health and healthcare. What we've tried to do at Stanford, even before the pandemic, but especially because of it, is to focus on breaking down those disparities and to increase awareness of the special health needs that exist around our world. And CARE is such a great example of that. Thanks to truly inspired leadership, CARE is addressing some of the most important issues health-wise affecting Asians, Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. It's a sad fact that most of the drugs that are available in the world today have gone through clinical trials that do not represent in any way the demography of even the United States, not to mention the demography and diversity of the world's populations. And so through the work of CARE and the research that's sponsored by CARE and the educational programs, and I'll mention a few of those in just a moment, as I know the speakers later today will also. But through those programs, we're helping to understand the special health and healthcare needs of Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, and then to bring that knowledge to the benefit of that community. And that really is fundamentally what precision health and precision medicine is all about. We know that there's no such thing as the prototypical person, the prototypical human. There are in terms of a few basic things, but so much of health and health care needs to be tailored to and directed by a better understanding of the health and the biology of specific groups. And certainly high on that list is the health and biology of Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. 60% of the world's population are identified within those groups of Asian, Asian American, Pacific Islanders, Native Hawaiians, and also more than 7% of the population of the United States. And at Stanford, 25% of our students are in those groups, and 25% of our faculty and staff, and 30% of our patients, people who come to us in our healthcare delivery system to receive care, 30% identify themselves as Asian, Asian American, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islanders. And yet we know the amount of federal research funding devoted to understanding the specific health and healthcare needs of this important group, the amount of federal research money is very limited. And so that's where the support from CARE and the visionary leadership of CARE is so important in bringing innovation, in bringing better science, to identifying those specific health and healthcare needs and then doing something about it. Since its establishment in 2018, CARE has provided 19 seed grants to do a host of different research studies, from fundamental biological, biomedical research to direct research impacting patients. And these seed grants have been awarded to investigators that have gone on already, and recall that CARE is less than 5 years old, already have gone on to generate more than $10 million in extramural funding support, research support. Also, through the leadership of CARE, the Journal of Asian Health has been relaunched and reinvigorated. And over 100 faculty members at Stanford are participating in activities and programs associated with CARE. The future of biomedicine, the future of life sciences, is going to be defined by the convergence of three distinct but related disciplines: biomedicine and biology, information science, and technology. And there's no better place on the planet to promote the convergence of those disciplines and to bring the benefit of that convergence to human health. There's no better place than Stanford and Silicon Valley. But we can't and we shouldn't and we won't do it alone. Partnerships, interactions, collaborations with institutions and with groups around the world are going to play a very important part in making sure that our vision for precision health and our vision for being preeminent in the future of the life sciences, making sure that that vision becomes a reality and that it succeeds in every way possible. And we won't do that by being isolated. We won't do that by being insular. We'll do that by building the relationships that ensure that we have the richness of the intellectual power that exists around the world and the opportunities that exist from collaborating with diverse groups and with societies and countries and institutions around the world. So it is indeed a very exciting time. I hope you enjoy some wonderful faculty presentations here in just a moment. But let me say again just how much of a privilege and a pleasure it is to be here in person, to be able to meet with you, to understand your desires, your aspirations, your hopes for the future, and for us to be able to reiterate our commitment to building the relationships that ensure that collectively we build the future of life sciences in a way that changes and transforms human health and the world. Now, I want to take this opportunity to thank some very special people who've made today's event possible, people who have made CARE possible through tireless efforts in starting the initiative and then building it and ensuring its success over a very short period of time. And recall that in that less than 5-year history, 3 of those years have very much been tied up with the complexities of COVID. So let me first thank the CARE leadership team, Dr. Latha Palaniathan, Dr. Zhouha Wang, Ms. Sally Lee, and Ms. Soka Kyo. Can we have a round of applause for these outstanding leaders? And I'm also grateful to CARE's amazing volunteer advisory board members, those around the world and those board members who are also here today. And I want to recognize the advisory board members who are here today. First, Dr. Hong-Se Lim, Ms. Karen Lee, Dr. Sheila Wong, and Ms. Danka Wu. Can we have a round of applause for those outstanding volunteers? And again, thank you very much. And Latha, let me turn the program over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. And because I study sedentary behavior for a living, please join me in giving Dean Minor a standing ovation.
Oh, no. Thank you very much.